Today I'm setting up the anaerobic digestion tank on the BioHouse. If you're new to the channel, I'm at the Derby Canyon Retreat, which is a kind of a campground that I'm putting together. That is our BioHouse, which is an outhouse that stores the waste in a tank that uses anaerobic digestion, which means it produces methane and basically fertilizer as byproducts. It's the springtime out here. I got everything built last year, but didn't want to set up the system and fill the entire tank with water and let it freeze all winter since we're at about 3,000 feet. So today I'm excited because we're going to be basically commissioning the system and putting it into effect for the first time. The other thing that's super cool about this property and a big project for me last year is the outdoor well house. So that is a solar powered well house. We had the well dug. It's powered by solar with wind as a backup, which mainly was just done for those super windy days that may not get much sunshine, to have kind of insurance for making sure we always have a full battery. And that system just has two, I'm not sure, I think they're not 100 amp hour, but two good sized batteries and a 3,000 watt inverter to run our pump. And so right now we've got the pump set to 60 psi. We're going to use our off-grid well and well house powered by the sun to fill those anaerobic digestion tanks. And following the process from the manufacturer, hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well, and we'll be ready to use this outdoor biohouse for all of our waste, as well as a kitchenette where we'll be using that methane to do things like boil water, cook, and be truly self-sustaining, everything from waste to cooking to water. And I'm super excited to get this done. So I've got the tank all set up and laid out. We have the feeder tubes set up, and the next step is going to be just to start filling the actual holding tank with water. Now, while I'm waiting for that tank to fill up, one other thing I'll mention is I built this digester room to literally be a greenhouse. The idea being that the anaerobic digestion process wants to be somewhere around 60 to 70 degrees. And I'm hoping that in those times of year where we're close to 40 to 50, we'll get enough passive gain to keep that tank warmer and let the bacteria do their thing. So that was the idea behind the clear roof there. Behind me is the actual stall for the toilet. Now, this toilet is not fully set up yet, but it's basically the RV quality. I mean, this is a ceramic toilet with hand pump. We'll be using a rainwater catchment system with a bucket to collect our water. That's what we'll use to flush it, and that will travel over into our holding tank, which will then use the process of anaerobic digestion to create methane and fertilizer as the most of the byproduct of that process. So this is a completely self-sustaining flushing toilet, and I think going to be a really awesome feature out here. Also, because that system has a burner, which is a cooktop essentially. This little grate goes on top and it's ready to be almost a camp stove. That I'm going to be installing over here on this live edge countertop to create a sort of kitchenette where people can boil water, maybe cook a meal, maybe make coffee, and have this as a shared space for the Derby Canyon Retreat, where we have 3 campsites that basically are available for recreational rent. So my goal by the end of this weekend is to have this whole BioOuthouse up and running, have the tank done, have the finishes, touches put on the kitchenette, doors installed, and have it ready to rock and roll. It's basically the middle of April, so we're getting to the point of the time of year where people are going to want to start coming out here and camping. So I'm excited to get this all completed, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll have a kitchenette, a functioning biogas toilet, and be ready to rock and roll for the season. Now, this is our off-grid outhouse. Basically, it's a experimental anaerobic digestion system where you enter the restroom here. It does have a RV style toilet, So you pull it to flush it, and it's a hand pump that way. This is the water that flushes the tank, which is fed from this reserve tank here. If that's ever empty, then you need to just open these valves and that'll flow water right down into there. If this is ever empty, which I try to fill it as often as possible, but if it's a really busy weekend or if I can't get out here for a few weeks, then we can use the hose. We have an attachment that's available that we can run in here to fill that as well. And then this is just gravity fed for washing hands, washing dishes, whatever you might need. And this is a single burner that's actually powered by the anaerobic digestion tank. My mission is self-reliance through sustainable living, and we're here to build a community. Click here to subscribe to be sure to get more awesome content for living off the land. And be sure to go in to enter for notifications. Click that bell, get notifications, and stay in tune. Subscribe, watch, and comment. Let's build a community. See you soon.